Okay, this morning we're going to look at what each form provides information for. We have factored form here, which is sets of two brackets. We have standard form, which is the x squared, x, and then a constant. Then we have vertex form, which we've taken a look at already, as such. Okay? So what I'm going to do here first is I'm just going to show you this equation. Okay? This equation here and this graph. Now you can pause it here, but I'm going to give you about 30 seconds to figure out, is there a connection between this equation here and what you see in this graph? Okay? I'll let you look at that. Okay, I'm going to give the explanation in about 3 seconds, so if you don't have it yet, pause it, take a look at it. Oh, son of a gun. And go from there. So, I'm going to show you another one. This time I'm going to click on this one right here. Okay, I have to move your graph a little bit. Each of those squares are worth 1. Okay? I'll give you a little hint. So, can you make a connection between the green formula and this graph here? Okay. I'm going to give you the answer in about 5 seconds. So, if you look, 5 and 1 are in this equation. It's negative and negative. But if you look here, the x-intercepts where they cross the graph crosses the x-axis occur at 5 and 1. Now it's negative 5 and negative 1 here, but you have to remember, just like we learned the other day, this is in the land of opposites. So negative 5 is actually positive 5, negative 1 is positive 1. Now if we look here at the green one, we have a negative 1 and a positive 2, but if we think land of opposites, 1 and 2, and that gives us our intercepts. So we're getting from factored form is our intercepts, our x-intercepts, sorry. Now if we look at this one here, we have 3 and positive 3 and positive 1. So I want you to think in your head what that's going to equal. Okay? So, if we take a look here, we end up with negative 3 and negative 1. Land of opposites, switch the signs. Now if you also look, this one's facing down for some reason. What's the difference between this formula, the blue formula, and the green formula? Okay, can you tell me? Well, the green formula, well, more importantly, the blue formula has a negative in front of it, and that's why it's going down. Okay, let's try this one. Positive 4 and positive 6 inside the brackets, and a negative in front. Tell me, is it going up or down? And then also the zeros. So it's going to go down since it's a negative. And then we're going to switch the signs here, so the signs are going to be negative 6 and negative 2. Sorry, negative 6 and negative 4. I was looking at the one above. And lastly, if we look at this one, answer the question, and always pause this if you need to. Is it going to go up or down? And what's the sign going to be? 3, 2, 1. Well, it's going to be up since there's no negative in front. Then switch the sign, so positive 1, negative 2. If we look, positive 1, negative 2. Okay, you're going to rejoin the class since I messed up the morning video. Won't lose that much, Abigail. All right, so I'll have to add on to this recording after.
How do you know where to put the y-intercept?
Don't worry about that yet. That's a great question, but this form, factored form, does not tell you anything about the y-intercept. Okay. This form only tells you the x-intercepts and the direction of opening.
Yeah, but you can know where like the direction of opening the x-intercepts, but how you meant to draw it if you don't know like the y and stuff.
We'll get into that after. That will be like next week's lesson of how to do that. We're just what we're doing today. What we're doing today is just figuring out what form it is. Now you could find the vertex. We'll learn how to find the vertex next week. Because what you do is you actually add your two x-intercepts together, divide it by 0, and then plug that back into the equation. But don't worry about that yet. You guys are getting ahead of me. All I want to do today is learn, oh, this is what standard form does. This is what I can grab off standard form. This is what I can grab off of vertex form and factored form. Because if you realize that, everything else is a lot easier. Okay? So I'm just giving you this chunk first. Okay, this last one here. 3 bracket x plus 1, x minus 1. Think to yourself, where are my zeros going to be? Is it going to be up and down? And hopefully that's what you expected. My zeros, land of opposites, so that's going to be minus 1, that's going to be plus 1. So my zeros are such. It's a positive number, so it's going to be up. And then like a level 4 would be, oh, it's a 3 in there, so it's going to be stretched up. So it's actually a little bit skinnier than your average, your standard one. How do we feel right now out of 5 about finding the zeros using factored form?
So the 5 turned into a -5, and that was the vertex.
Don't worry about the vertex right now. Stop
Okay.
thinking vertex. All I want you to know.
Oh, the 3 rather.
No, the 3 just stretched it. Like it's skinnier. Remember that A value? Remember we talked about A value in vertex form?
Yep.
How if it was above 1, it makes it skinnier. Like, if I make this a 0.5, it's going to get wider. See how it's a little bit wider?
Yeah.
If I give a 5, that's going to be skinnier.
Yeah. So it was a 3. So the 3 turned into a -3, and that was
that's just coincidence. That's just coincidence. Okay. That's just because of where it is on this one. Okay. Don't worry about the y-intercept here.
So everything in the bracket switches signs, and then because it was a 3, it was like over 1, up 3, and like so on, or?
Yes, but don't worry about that. We can't use you can't use step pattern with vertex form.
Okay.
Okay. So the only thing I want you to write down, I'll use this guy's notes. Just write down the factored form part here. Ignore the top part. So for this one, factored form is the one with 2 sets of brackets. Here's an example of an equation in factored form. The key feature it gives you is the zeros. And the specific feature out of this is 7 and -3. Make a note on the side here. Although this is not going to be true. I'm going to show you another one here. it's not 100% just switch the signs and that's it. Okay? Because if I have something factored like this, okay, what actually breaks down? Tell me when you're done writing that. Okay. Actually, we're going to leave it for today. I'm not going to show you this today. We're going to show it a different day. Okay. Put a D when you're done writing just this middle part. Don't worry about, we're going to come back and do the top and bottom parts. Okay, so just when you're done this middle part, put a D in chat. We're going to come back, so don't worry about missing out on the other parts. So once again, this is in your notes to self. At the very bottom of the third page, I think, right here. This is where we're filling it in. Okay. And you can fill in here, opens up if it's a I could go like this and I put a plus in there as in it's positive. And it opens down if it's a negative in front. Okay, that's what you'd write down here. So I'll pop back here so you can see the nice writing instead of my chicken scratches. Okay, I'm going to jump back to Desmos there in a couple seconds. And I'll leave this up at the very end for you guys to write down fully. If you don't get everything down before I switch back, that's perfectly fine. I'm going to jump back. This will be the last thing I show you at the end of the day. So we're going to go on to, I think, standard forms next. Where's my thing? Standard form. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to click on this one. And I want you to try to make a connection between this formula and the graph that's going to show up here. Right? Put a Y in chat if you think you see the connection between the formula and the graph. Now, for you people who cheated and wrote down the definition beforehand, and now looking at that definition you wrote, I guess you'll know the answer. So take a look at the formula, x squared minus 3x plus 4. What does that have in common with the graph that is there? It's only Dominic so far that sees it. Let's do the next one. I'll do plus 3. There you go. Did what you, for the people who haven't seen it, do you see it now? And for Dominic and Logan and Abigail, oh, sorry, for Dominic, I guess, did it hold true? Did your thought of what was going to happen hold true? No? Okay. Does anyone see the connection between these two? This is your red one, right? Look at the graph, and is there something that pops out that you can make a connection between the formula and the graph? And look at the green one and see if there's something here that matches something on the graph. for the people who don't see it, do you want to look at one more, or do you want the answer? So put an A for answer and put a 1 if you want me to click on one more equation. I'll do one more. I'll do -5. Who wants to type in, if you want to, try to type in the chat what you think the connection between standard form and the graph is. What's the connection between that equation of standard form and the graph? The y-intercept and what, Haley? What's the y-intercept connect to? The last number. So does everyone see that? The constant, or the number that doesn't have a variable beside it, is also the y-intercept. So if we look here, 4 is the y-intercept in this graph, because it goes up 4, and the number there is 4. The number here is 3. That green one crosses over the y at 3. The number here is -5, and it crosses over at -5. My question for you right now is this. Why is the green one go down? The other ones went up. The red one went up. Why does the green one go down? The leading term, the x squared value, is positive or negative. All right? Good. Okay, let's look at this one here. X squared plus 7x minus 7. Think in your head, where are you anticipating the x-intercept to be? I mean, the y-intercept? And is it going to go up or down? Okay. Put a y in chat if the two things, if you were able to figure out where the y-intercept was going to be and where if it was going to be up or down. So if you got those two things right, put a y in chat. Okay. We'll do one more. Let's do this one here. -4x squared plus 8x minus 8. Think to yourself, is it going to turn up or down? And what the y-intercept is going to be. Oops. So out of 2 marks, so if I give you a mark for knowing if it went up or down, I give you a mark for the y-intercept, how many marks would people have got? 0, 1, or 2? Okay. Okay, that's fine. We're going to work on this as we go. Let's go back to our definition. And we're looking at standard form up here. So standard form has no brackets. And the very last term, it gives us our y-intercept. And that comes from our very last term here. All right. Can you guys write that down for me in your notes to self, please, and thank you? and put a D. How do you know if it's up or down? Same as before, if there's a negative in front, it goes down. If there's a positive in front, it opens up. It's just like factored form that we did yesterday. So write a D in chat once you're done writing down standard form. Not once you're done writing down everything, which I'm sure someone has. Okay. You're saying it's not done. And in the little box below, make an example of one that goes up and one that goes down. I have a question for you guys. Of the people who don't have printers, if I went to the school and printed off notes to self, and even blank notes that we're going to go through during the week, who would go to school and pick them? Who would be willing to go to St. James and pick them up for writing down notes? Okay. I might see if I can do that next week then. I might print off a bunch. I'll email you guys to see who wants it. Put it in the front office, go in, photocopy them, and put them in the front office. You guys could pick it up Friday or even Thursday for the following week. Okay. Because I know some people that either don't have printers or printers are broken, or I know like our printer, the ink one takes up a lot of ink and you hate printing out of it. Right, you're saying you all done? You gotta be all done by now. Not yet. What are you making your own ink today, Yosan?
This is in the OneNote, right?
Pardon?
This is in the OneNote, right?
It is in OneNote under
Okay,
classes.
so no worries. You can go on. I will just go to the OneNote.
And I'll come back after you, Yosan. When you guys start your homework, I'll come back and sit on this page. So
Okay,
you can copy
no worries.
this page down.
Okay.
The one thing here, if I was to write this part, I would write like y equals 2x squared plus 3x plus 4. And on this one, I write y equals, and make this like negative stand out, minus 2x squared plus 3x plus 4, right? So the big thing there is the minus in front. Okay, last one, and this should take 3 seconds because we've done this before. If it doesn't, I've failed you guys as a teacher. And I will retire to a new profession. So, what do you think is going to come out of this form? This is vertex form, not a hint at all. What's going to come out of this one? Any wild guesses in chat? What's going to come out of vertex form? vertex form, it's going to be our vertex, right? And as we remember, land of opposites, this changes. So we're going to go over 3, then down 4, and there's our vertex.
Is this the same stuff we did yesterday for homework?
Yeah, but this is just like comparing vertex form to other forms, Andreas.
Oh.
Right?
Well,
So all I want you... Pardon, Andreas?
What's the other forms?
Standard and factored, which we've written down.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Is that what you mean by Farley by zoom in? So that's over 3, down 4. Okay, who can predict for this one here, what's going to be my vertex? Can you write it in chat what the vertex should be here? And remember about your land of opposites. I haven't seen a perfect answer yet. I may agree with those numbers, but I haven't seen a perfect opposite. Remember, land of opposite only applies to brackets, Abigail. Who's going to give me the perfect answer? With 100% communication. No, not quite. What are we missing? We are missing, there we go. We need brackets around those, right? Perfect. So -2 over -2 down 1. There we go. -2 down 1 gives us our vertex. Right? Factored form gives us our vertex. And we already knew that because we did it yesterday. All right, let's write down that last one. So remember, vertex form has brackets that are squared, and it gives us our vertex. It's 9:40 in the morning, Andreas. And of all the things to crave, a burger, so many better things. Okay. I'll give you guys 2 minutes. I got to do my attendance. You guys have as long as till I finish my attendance. Write that down. Also write underneath it. Tessa, have I seen Tessa today? There you are, Tessa. Ben's here. Brandon I've seen. Riley I've talked to, I believe.
Oh, I'm right here.
Yeah. Andreas C. Good. Abby I've seen. Farley I've talked to. Laura, Ethan, Gabe has participated. Yeah. Brian I saw pop in. T I saw. James I saw. Kovacs I saw. Logan's participated. Haley's been in there. Olivia M. is right there. Andreas Jackson, Sanvito. Jadine's not here yet. And Dominic and Yoscan. Perfect. Okay. So let's go do a little bit of the homework together. So whose homework do they want? Whose homework should I fill in this morning? First person to respond in the chat, that's the one I start filling in. Oh, Ben. Sure. I'll start Ben's homework. Ben. Boom. Friday practice. So this part here we did in class. You don't have to worry about that part. So this here, now since I'm doing Ben's homework, who thinks Ben should give me the answers?
Yes.
Riley says yes. Okay.
What? I never asked for you to do my homework.
Oh, I said first person to respond. I'll do start the homework on their page.
No, I sent that before you said that.
I don't know. But
Yeah, when you
You
were
can do
doing
it.
attendance, I was just responding this like I was here.
you can do this here for me. What form is this in? This one here. Is this factored, standard, or vertex?
I haven't been paying attention. I've been doing other notes.
Doing
I've
other
been off
notes.
this whole time. I was just gonna learn it after.
I say you start on my homework.
Abigail? Okay, Abigail wants me to do her homework.
No, Gabe wants you to do his. He needs it more.
No, Abigail responded quicker. All right, so Abigail, what form do we have right here?
Wait, the first one or the second one?
First one.
Factored form?
It's factored form, and as you can see, factored form, if you look back at your notes, which would be what you wrote down, gives you your zeros. In this case, land of opposites, -6 and 7. And we take a look, what way does it go? Since it's positive, it goes up. Okay, so Abigail, what's next? What form is this one in?
Vertex form?
Vertex form. What key feature does vertex form give you?
Vertex?
The vertex. What's the vertex of this?
+2, -9.
Good. And is this one going up or down? Opening up or down?
Up.
Up. Good. Last one. This one here. Standard, factored, or vertex?
Standard.
Standard, good. What key feature does standard form give you?
Y-intercept.
Good. What's the y-intercept of this equation?
-8.
Good. And does it go up or down?
Down.
Perfect. That's it. That's all you have to do through that whole process. Okay? Does everyone understand today's homework?
Is that it? That's all?
That's it. Just got to go down and do those ones.
For the whole day?
Then this is the only homework. Well, you have other stuff later, right? You have your culminating and your
True.
your factoring assignment due, but this is like this morning's homework for the subject we just did.
Oh,
How
yeah.
much time for the factoring assignment?
You have until Sunday night
Oh,
to finish it.
okay.
But you could probably do it. You could do it this afternoon, no problem.
I thought you were gonna give us like this school hour span. I was like, okay, that's fine too. But
No, but
okay, sweet.
like logic. If you want to enjoy your time, do it this afternoon.
Okay.
Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like try to get everything done. Like everything should be done. If you're